Nuclear missile ready. Nuclear missile ready. Nuclear missile ready.
Huh. Hello guys, what's up everybody? Still had a stray out there, sorry about that one. Also my webcam, let me see. Decided to go a little bit haywire. There it is, there we are. Hello, hello, welcome to another day of StarCraft 2 and... I'm very dark today, ain't I? Let me try to remedy that situation slightly. Light. Alright. It's a little bit better. It's a little bit better. Alright, anyway. We're hopping into game number 1 here pretty darn quickly. Straight after the GSL. Let's hope everybody had enough time to kind of switch over. Best of 9. Dream versus Rogue. We did just kind of delay it a slight bit here and there. Just so we wouldn't overlap with the GSL. And now we are looking at the first game loading up here. Anyway, guys, hope you're all doing okay. Hope you're all doing fine. Was a little bit tense trying to get everything sorted straight after the GSL, but you know what, everybody, well, usually people are very much looking forward to more StarCraft 2 as soon as the GSL ends. So you know what, here we are to remedy that situation. In the top left side of the map, we have our blue Zerg player. He is none other than Jin Green Wings' Rogue. In the bottom right side, Bravestar Gaming's red Terran player. He is Dream. Neither of these players making it to the round of 16, but you know what? They are darn good players. Dream, of course, going down due to parting, and Rogue going down due to Scarlet. Now, I don't know if any of you, well, you must have already probably seen the GSL games of just now, where we also saw Scarlet perform as well, of course. If you haven't and you don't want to be spoiled, close your eyes for about like, or your ears, for about 10 seconds. Unfortunately, Scarlet's getting knocked out there as well. So, yeah, not the games I was hoping for personally, but oh well, we're gonna have to make do with two very strong players, Dark and Deer. Really, of course, already a little bit the favorite there anyway, right? So, regardless of that, I think that's already 10 seconds past. Let's see, these two players opening up pretty standard so far. Dream gonna go with that SCV Scout straight into the Reaper Scout, and Rogue so far also doing the pretty standard play here. Getting himself the later gas and as much as, or as many minerals as possible in that earlier part of the game. Indeed I am, really Kozan. Xenon? Xenon, is that how I pronounce it? I'm not completely certain. Well, although I did learn a lesson today from somebody taught me some wise words that you should never bother someone who mispronounces a word, because that means then that they learned the word through reading, right? Which is why they mispronounce it, because they haven't heard somebody else pronounce it just yet, and you shouldn't try to make somebody feel bad about reading, because people should be reading. That's a good way to be smart. I thought that was pretty cool. Anyway, two Zerglings here, going to be whittling away at that HP pool here of the SCV. A little bit unfortunate being on the wrong side of that hatchery there. The block for that third base still happening though, so you know what, Rogue in a little bit of a pickle there, especially because he does lose a Ling here too. Actually, he already lost 3 Lings. That is pretty nuts. Yeah, the other two... Oh, get back in there. There we go. The other two Zerglings here. Oh my dear lord. Dream, you absolute dreamboat of a player. What a play. Killing off that drone there, ultimately. And look at that, like 400 minerals extra. Oh my dear. Well, he was on 400 minerals in total there. It's pretty nuts. Pretty nuts. Together with, like, getting another queen as well already. Actually, already this 4th queen, so that delay is insanity. Absolute madness. Anyway, there's a very quick 3rd base for Dream. That's interesting too. Should be pretty good for him, as long as he doesn't get counterattacked by Rogue, who of course might do, since he did get delayed there quite a bit. And indeed, yes it is. Ripper, we are live as can be. And to prove that fact, Ripper02, I'm calling you out. There you go. I've called you out, and now you know it's live. We wanted to be live a little bit earlier on, but we had to delay it a little bit due to the GSL. Both these players nice enough to accommodate that fact and just kind of waited out until that was over. We're a little bit lucky that that final series ended the way it did, of course. It's a little bit quicker that way, but oh well. Oh well. Not what a lot of the foreigners, of course, would have liked to see. Anyway, layer attack on the way here. Also, Banshees with Cloak coming out, and there is that Stim as well being researched. So just a bio play after the Hellion and the Banshee opening here. Aggressive from Dream, but overall pretty darn cool nonetheless. Alright. So I think I did update all the bracket stuff and things like this. I hope I did anyway. I'll have to wait and see. Maybe that's still some stuff there, Sushi, that you could look at, but I think I did most of it. Anyway, Rogue off of the 3 base, going for that layer attack now as well. I'm curious to see what he's going to go for, as we don't yet have any kind of Evo chambers. We don't have a Baneling Nest. Alright, there's the Evo chambers. Mostly here perhaps to just kind of block off this area from Hellions to run by. Or even drops, right? Drops, very common for them to kind of drop over here in the fog of war and then just kind of go for it. Okay, did manage to get a creep to me there. Not too bad. I think he lost a... No, actually not losing a Hellion there. Anyway, there's the +1/+1 for Dream, starting up a whole lot earlier. And the ranged weapons from Rogue. Alright. Rogue just sticking to roaches for now. Gonna be interested in seeing what he's gonna be doing here with this. So you're gonna go for some sort of an all-in. He's still droning up after all, but there's no Hydra attack whatsoever. And even if you do want to go for the Hydras, usually you do want to have some sort of Banelings as well to kind of buffer there. At least that is the common strategy, right? But then if you're not getting the melee attack, most likely you're not going to be relying on those Banelings anyway. We are seeing a lot of roaches now in the production tab. Might be a timing attack with the +1/+1 and the roach speed finishing up here relatively shortly. And oh, losing the Banshees. That is quite the big deal actually. Losing both of those. Yeah, they are very, very valuable, and holding off these the roach aggressions. More and more are being produced. We're no longer seeing any drones being created. This 4th base, I believe, is just a little bit of a ruse. He doesn't even have it queued up for the drones over here to really go over there. And Dream under the suspicion that there will be a 4th base now moving out actually. In fact, even with a siege tank in that medevac right there. The exact opposite of what you want to be doing right now. Does manage to get out of there again with a good amount of his forces. Does still have that siege tank. Has a 2nd siege tank now as well. They are gonna be incredibly valuable in this next upcoming fight here. And just moving out with the mobile forces now. That's probably the right call. Checking to see if this is in fact what he thinks it is. And yes, it is. Dream now throwing down bunkers, realizing what is heading his way. No, my dear lord, I'm not quite sure which of these players will have enough. Dream definitely far behind on that overall army supply, but of course with the siege tanks in front, the Marines are buffering. Great biles though, landing on top of most of the Marines, dealing a lot of damage now as CV's having to be pulled. And yeah, it looks like this might be the end here for Dream already in this first game. A very quick one. But yeah, Rogue just kind of pulling the blindness over Dream's overall scouting there. Not going to be able to pick it up what was happening and what was coming his way. And ultimately it's just going to do him in here a little bit too much. A lot of damage. Oh, what's up, Creighton? How you doing, my man? Well, it's been a long time since I saw you in my chat. Well, sometimes you pop in after a host, of course, but you know what? I understand that you don't stay around for too long. Anyway, yeah, Dream. I wanna hype this up more, guys, but he's pretty dead. He is pretty dead. He does have another siege tank, yes, but I mean, look at the amount of stuff that's just coming down the pipes here. That is just a non-stop supply of roaches. There's even an overseer now, so he can bile down the siege tank on the high ground. There he goes. It's gone. Anyway, yeah, Rogue and Dream. Rogue and Dream, not Deer. Deer did move on in the GSL though, so not sure if that was a mistake or you were just very happy that Deer moved on. Well played by Rogue there. Yeah, nice little attack. Didn't see it coming. Dream did, and that was his downfall there, definitely, for sure. Anyway, what's up? What's up? How's that internet? Is it already getting a little bit better, Creighton? You had somebody come over recently, right? Didn't I, did that already happen? Or is that still supposed to happen? Should be fixed today, you hope. Oh, man, that's nice. That's nice. That's some good stuff. I hope so, too. I hope so, too. Anyway, welcome, everybody. This is the Super Series. We have Dream and Rogue, two very well-known StarCraft 2 players, of course. Rogue there taking the first game quite convincingly. So we're going to have to see whether or not Dream is going to be able to adjust his play here a little bit, of course. Also, thank you to Running Bull 82 and Colomito, or Colomito. It might be Mito, or it might be Mito. Anyway, thank you for those follows, guys. Welcome to the group. Hope you're going to have yourself a good time here with some lovely StarCraft. You had 2 techs stop by already, but due to weird calendar issues, it's still spotty. Ah, I see, I see. You know what? Well, just be happy that they're actually doing things, right? That they're not obligated due to the quarantine to just kind of stay home and not be able to go anywhere. Anyway, we'll have to do this rather quickly with the introductions. In the bottom left side, there is the Blue Zerg. It's from Jin Green Wings. He is a Rogue. Top right. He's not building a barracks here, is he? No, sir. No, sir. Brave Star Gaming's red Terran player. He is a Dream. Alright, well, I love these positions like this, especially up against the wall in this little corner, if that can be tucked away there. Of course, the overall surface area for drones to actually get the SCV is incredibly small right now, specifically with the mineral fields right there as well. It does become very, very problematic, of course. And Rogue, you know what, he does have an Overlord along the way here. He should be scouting this relatively quickly, but he's not going to be able to pull drones anymore to really stop the production here. It looks like, anyway, on the other side we have Dream. He does make a refinery, so this looks like just a 2 racks opening into a factory at home, I believe. And Rogue, what is he up to? He's just making 6 links. That's good. He did get the scout, of course, with that Overlord. Now 8 links already under production. And I think as long as he gets a pretty reasonable surround on those Marines, he should be okay. At least those bunkers definitely shouldn't finish here. Yeah, there we go. Immediate cancel. Now there is some nice little terrain here that he could abuse, of course. But he does want to try and continuously trade with those Zerglings. Although he doesn't want to trade with the Zerglings behind him, of course. That might be a problem. Oh, Nelly. Alright. He does try to commit for a bunker here. One of these Marines does get caught out. As the other Marines deciding where to go. Either protect the bunker or protect their reinforcements. That's a rough call to make. Either their buddies or their little technician here. Oh, well. No bunker for you today, sir. That is indeed quite rough. And now he's surrounded, man. Look at that. GG is called immediately. Okay. Okay, that just happened. That was a rough one. A great scout by Rogue, and lovely running by with the links, catching all those Marines coming in from the other side. Being able to just stop anything bad from happening. Keeping the bunker as well from finishing, and home run. Straight home run. Easy peasy. No problem for this guy. Even though he did get a little bit of a late scout, maybe with a 3 racks, but then he probably could have just done some roaches or something like that, perhaps. I'm sure Rogue would have figured it out, because he made that look so easy. Holy moly. 2:41 game length. Rogue has a date later tonight. Yeah, well, I guess it might be Dream as well, right? Because Rogue didn't have much to do with how quick that one went. Except for just winning, I suppose. Maybe they have a date together, right? Maybe they're just going on a date with one another. That could be the case too. Who knows? They're like, let's just make this quick. Whoever wins is going to have to pay for dinner. That would be nice. That would be nice, actually. Anyway, something like that. We have ourselves some Maturino page as well, by the way, guys. So go check that one out. Would appreciate, of course, anyone filling in a couple of codes. Let me actually show you guys here real quick before the game is going to start. So all you want to do is sign in. Grab a Twitch thing, or anything really, what you're signed up with on your browser. Press contribute, and voila, AXCOM98. Contribute, and blammo, there we go. 50 cents added to that prize pool, just like that. Doesn't cost me a dime. Doesn't really, you know what, cost me any sorts of problems. Just more money for StarCraft 2 players. And if there's anything StarCraft 2 players would always like, as well, guess as anyone really, it's more money. And if we can get anyone more money for free, then StarCraft 2 players are a good place to start. Anyway, it's basically universal basic income, but then just solely for esports. At the 3 o'clock location, there we have a blue Zerg fighting for Jin Air Green Wings. He is he's making this rather quick. Due to his own accord, but also his opponent, I suppose, a little bit. Anyway, he is Rogue. I suppose after his run in GSL, he made a vow to never die too early on cheese again. That may be the thing here. Anyway, of course, on the pure side of the map, we have the red Terran player fighting for Brave Star Gaming. He is a Dream. There you have it, Chindings. Thank you so much for helping out with those codes. Very much appreciated, my friend. Would not be able to do these things without folk like you, such as yourself, taking a couple of seconds, doing a couple of clicks, and just, you know what, getting these players a worthy prize to fight over. A worthy prize to claw each other's eyes out for. You're welcome, you're welcome. It's our pleasure completely. Anyway, Dream, this time around not doing anything crazy. Not doing anything crazy, just a single Reaper expand with a command center on that low ground. It won't be in any problems here. He did not go for a SCV scout, so maybe that's a bit of a sign where he feels like he needs to start really getting every tiniest of advantages here to actually pull ahead. That could be the case, of course. Or maybe he just doesn't expect Rogue to do anything with a pull first. Off he goes, and actually, yeah, that is potentially a very quick third base. He is going to go for the Queens first and foremost. Otherwise, these Lynx would have had their hands filled with a Reaper. But yeah, ultimately now the Queen should be coming in to relieve the forces of those Zerglings, of course. Oh, one of them does get killed off. It's not the... Well, actually, if he gets two, that's pretty big. Almost getting a drone there as well. Pretty good, pretty good. Oh, the Queen Stove, Queen Sandwich. Ah, it's fine. He gets out there. The hot dog squeezes out of that queen bun. Starport now being constructed. Dream attempting to catch himself a creep tumor, but Rogue, you know what? He moved his main queen down to the low ground. So he's going to be able to just pretty much freely spread that creep here. Putting one up there, not one you really can afford to jump upon as the Reaper. And yeah, it looks like Rogue will have some undisturbed spreading of creep here in the early parts. Although, of course, he is missing a slightly little bit of injecting now on his main base for this. So maybe, you know what, I'm not quite sure how that works out with the math, but it might be a little bit something else. There's a couple of aliens here that might be able to take over together with that Reaper. There is a fusion core as well. Of course, this map, great for air assault. If you want to get that quick. But other than that, is it that good for battle cruisers? You might want to just consider, when you do look for if a map is good for battle cruisers or not, is there some dead space between bases, right, that you can abuse and fly in between? And right here on this map, I'd say no, not really. You have a straight line here up against the wall pretty much, so not that much to abuse with those battle cruisers. And in fact, you know what, I don't think he's even going to go for it anymore. It got scouted quite heavily. Yep, what? No, never mind. Still goes for it anyway. There's a bailing nest as well coming up. Queens. Forming a human wall. I don't know how to do a pyramid just yet, but I'm sure they'll figure it out eventually. Just to really hold back those aliens anyway. Not too much of a defense on this side just yet, so those queens cannot afford to go too far out. Need to make the decision here to whether or not protect those creep tumors or protect the left side. Stallions do try to come in here, and yeah, there they go. Alright, those queens gonna need to run over, but you know what, the links might be able to be enough here actually. If we see this coming in. Alright, battle cruisers almost operational. Lay attack as well. Now, what will be his response? Is he just going to go straight into his Spire? That might not be a too bad idea. There is a mech play coming up behind this as well, by the way. Just a couple of factories. In goes the first battlecruiser. 4 queens here to meet him. Zone does have to skedaddle on out of there. But the Hellions might use this as an opportunity. Although 3 more queens here. Probably don't want to take this fight. Just want to run by, don't you, Dream? Well, I guess he sees the links. Did he see the links? He must have, right? Why else would you try to go in a fight with the queens like that? Very interesting. Alright, anyway. Can group up with the battlecruiser. Does he have a armory? Not quite yet, so that's rather difficult. He is, in fact, trying to just gun down the queens so far. I suppose if you do kill off the queens, you are going to allow that battlecruiser to get a lot of work done, but first and foremost, you're going to have to kill queens with Hellions, and it's not something that happens a whole lot. Alright, well, Baneling's here, no speed, so in a lot of trouble. It's actually kind of doing it, with a couple of Marines in here as well as the Reaper. Is to target the Baneling. It's the target. Well, okay. Doesn't take too much damage, but yeah, alright. Does have to back off now. Battlecruiser extremely low, and in fact a couple of links as well running by, causing some disruption on that third base. Need to stop mining there for a moment. Further, no more battlecruisers on that production tab, so just gonna transition into that, well, ground mech force here. Together using the double armory for some more upgrades. Yet another Ling run by here. Being rather pesky. Oh, very good at doing tiny things like that. Almost getting a block there, but alright, alright. Just some overall love, it looks like, going down in the chat here. That's always nice. Mutalisk! You know what? I like it. I think he just realized that there was only the 2 battlecruisers so far. No more being constructed, so Instead of just going Corruptors, going Mutalisk here. I mean, Battlecruisers, yes, they do pretty good against Mutalisk, but in low numbers, if you just get enough Mutalisk, of course, you're still gonna just beat them straight up. You're gonna need, most likely, Thors. Cyclones do okay as well, but they're so fragile, and they don't have that AoE, of course, so if you have a good enough Mutaflock, you are just gonna be able to gun them down very quickly before you take too much damage. Hellions coming into this 4th base at the same time. The Mutalisk also attempting a little bit of economic damage from the other side. Oh boy, that's a lot of drone kills though. More Mutalisk on this side now as well. You know what, Rogue? That may have been a little bit too much damage, I have to say. A little bit of a... How do you call this? I don't know. Consolation prize, that's the word. Well, so glad I found that one. A little bit of a consolation prize is, of course, that Dream is only on that 3 base economy right now, I suppose, but I mean, it's still pretty darn solid for a mech player, of course. And you know what, he is adding in that new command center as well. 1-4 does get picked off. Widow Mines are being added into the mix as well. Don't usually see it too much with the mech play, but oh, does get them both. There's 2 of them there. You gotta be careful here, Rogue. He cut off a lot of SCVs here, actually. Did something run into that? Right, anyway. He's doing pretty good out here now. Definitely returning the favor here. And he's just getting more and more Mutalisk. You don't see this very often against a mech player. And I think he may be overdoing it. Yes, he's getting a lot of work done, but I definitely feel like the timing of these guys is gonna go out of the window pretty soon, as just Thors and Widow Mines are being constructed now. Nothing else, really. So, some sort of a transition into, well, a ground force here wouldn't be a too bad idea, I'd say. Gonna have to wait and see. He's still making Mutalisk. He just can't get enough. It's like we're watching DRG. It's very odd. DRG this morning versus Zaun in a best of 9 didn't really make any Mutalisk. And you know what? I think DRG and Rogue, they just switched accounts. And they don't know about it themselves just yet. Something like that. Anyway, that's even more damage now being taken. Lynx as well, surrounding 2 Thors here on that new base. The 4th base. Battle cruisers coming in. You know what, these Mutalisks might just be able to fight them straight up. There's no Widow Mines here anywhere. Jeez Louise. Look at that, teleporting on top of itself in order to save himself. That's quite funny. 96 workers here actually for Rogue as well. He's getting himself 6 bases. And that might be all she wrote here. Right, I guess I was wrong. I guess you can just continually make Mutalisk against Thors and Widow Mines. As long as you're Rogue, right? Am I right? That's right. That's proves me wrong once again. These pro gamers, man. They don't understand the hardship of casters. Just always proving you wrong. I think that's their biggest joy in life. But, oh well. I guess we'll let them have that one. Coming in again here. Are these still the same initial battlecruisers? Yes, they are. That's nuts. I want to see how many kills. 15 and 16 kills in total. Pretty darn solid. Now, the production for Dream seems to have just kind of flatlined here, as nothing else is being constructed from those factories. The base got burned down. And yeah, that's a GG. That's a GG once more. Rogue, he's looking very, very strong here today. Getting himself 3 points in the lead. Straight ahead. No 5-0, please. Oh, dear lord, that would be a little bit frustrating. Not gonna lie. But then again, I still gotta do groceries, so maybe it would be a good thing for me. It's like, anyway, let's see what the next map choice will be here for Dream. He's going through his map choices rather quickly. The mech style never really got off the ground here. And, well, you know what? I like the overall decision from Rogue to make that quick switch that early on into the Mutalisk, in a way, because ultimately, what you see from those types of battlecruiser openings going into mech, they will, of course, transition into a lot of the times into siege tanks to try and hold off against roach pushes. But then if you just go into those mass Mutalisk numbers, there's not much on the ground that can really hold you off. Except for the 2 battle cruisers, but as we saw, you can just kind of outrun them until you have enough Mutalisk to just take him on face first. No problem. And yeah, then if you just are able to intercept those Thors coming out of those factories over and over and over again, not much you can do as Dream, it seems like. Unless if you just want to stay on 2 or 3 bases the entire game, but it's not a good way to win either, is it? No, no, sir. So, yeah. Well played there by Rogue. Not a strategy you see all that often in the ZvT with the T going mech. But very interesting. And very cool to see. Very cool to see. Anyway, next game coming up. It's already game number 4. Let me see, we did. It's not game number 5, is it? That would be quite a thing. Yeah, it's game number 4. I think, man. Sometimes, man, like you're just casting, you're having a good time, and then you're like, suddenly like, wait, how many games did we cast? I'm pretty sure it's 3-0. Yeah. Okay, thank you, Creighton. Thank you. Always paying attention. In the top right side, we have that Jin Green Wings player who is on an absolute tear right now. Will he be able to just close it off here with 2 more games? Let's hope not. No offense, Rogue. I don't mind if you win, but just do it a little bit less convincingly, alright? We need to have some excitement here. Anyway, here's a Rogue. Bottom left side, that red Terran player. Brave Star Gaming's Dream. Needs to pick up the pace here. Has to win 3 games in a row in order to tie himself up again. 5 games need to be won for him, and you know what? Only with 2 lives remaining here. It's very rough against somebody of the caliber of Rogue. Of course, Rogue, you know what? You have to give it to him. He's still one of those top players that people continuously, right? It was a big debate. Who is better, Rogue or Dark? Rogue or Dark? Now, Rogue did get killed off by Scarlet in the GSL, and now it feels like he has been kind of thrown to the wayside by some people in the consideration of him being, well, one of the best, if not the best, Zergs in Korea. But he definitely made that discussion quite a couple of times, and you know what? He definitely deserves to be in that conversation in a way. At least, maybe not if the best Zerg. Top 3, for sure. For sure. Dream, though. You know what? He has been getting up there a lot recently. But I wouldn't put him up on that top 3 Terrans list, really. Necessarily, right? He is still a little bit of the underdog. But, man... if this just keeps going like this, I'm not sure if I can really comfortably say that Dream will be able to get himself to that position, because it did feel for a long time there that he was just getting up into more and more wins, right? He was doing better and better. But yeah, feeling a little bit lackluster here today. Might just be a bad day, right? I might just be overthinking this. Right. Reaper does come in here, forces a extractor. Needs to get the heck out of dodge though, of course. Those links here trying to get the cancel once again on that command center, just like game number 1. Aren't able to get it this time though. Will be able to get forced away by those marines. In fact, going for double marine before the reactor here, so those Hellions are gonna be a little bit more delayed. So is that 3rd base once again. And the Reaper, it's like, alright, this is my time, I go in now. Doesn't lose it though, that is pretty big. That would have been amazing though, getting the jump on that little drone there. Now, this is a tiny thing that I might as well point it out. I don't like the reactor over here. It being a part of the wall, I always prefer having the barracks a little bit more to the right here, and then having the reactor here, giving a little bit of an easier time for your units to move in and out of that main base. He's going for a battlecruiser opening, but again, by the way, here. And a very quick third command center. Now, definitely something that could work. Definitely something that can be very strong. But it, you know what? Let's hope it just doesn't get scouted. Just hope that rogue doesn't get the flight at overlords in here. Or run in some couple of zerglings here. It's rough. It is rough. There it is. 2 Evo chambers walling off this main base. Also already killing off the rogues here. It's always interesting to see somebody walling something off and then destroying the other part of the wall here. Maybe just getting it a little bit lower so that once he can get rid of it, so to give these links a little bit more of an easier flow through the map. And he only has to do a little nibble, and then immediately it is already accessible, of course. Now, let's see, did this Overlord ever fly in here? He still hasn't, so rogue, a little bit desperate here for the actual scouting. Needs to have that information coming in pretty soon here. The Hellions on the rocks. That they are still around here, of course. So a lot of creep tumors. Science are looking at the creep tumors, thinking that might be a nice little snack. And that definitely would have died, of course, if it was a light armor, but not gonna be the case just yet. Right, anyway, first battlecruiser. We do have a mech follow-up, but do we have an armory here? No, we do not. So I always think that is a great way to kind of amplify the power of the battlecruiser here. Just by having a secondary attack somewhere else that is quite potent. The Hellions, of course, can be very good. But having them be Hellbats, of course, I mean, look at the amount you have right here. That could definitely be an incredible amount of damage if they just all transform into Hellbats. Imagine like how quickly these things would die. Already against the Hellions, they are doing really good, but Hellbats, oh my dear lords. Alright, I guess he can chase down some of these drones now, perhaps, if the queens don't get there in time. Is he just gonna YOLO them in? Yes, he is. Okay, in he comes. More drones on the menu here. Korean barbecue extravaganza. Alright, 13, 24 workers actually gonna go down. Oh my god, look at those two Hellions right here. One of them having 14 kills. Coming in from behind. That is absolutely mad. 35 right now. Okay, Dream. That was rather nifty. That was something else. Seeing the drones being transferred to that third base and immediately running those two Hellions the other way around and getting some amazing shots there. Of course, those drones, they do stack up rather heavily if you do have them run across there with a mineral walk. And Rogue paying the price there, paying the piper. Oh, what is this? He's gonna go for gas regardless. He's gonna go up to 6 gas here, even though he only has 41 workers, just so he can facilitate this Spire. He might just try to go for a massive Spire Mutalisk attack once more, but, I mean, it shouldn't work anymore as well as it did that previous time, right? How can it still work if you've lost 35 workers? I mean, I already thought it shouldn't work in that other game that we just saw, but now, jeez Louise. Okay, well, anyway, we do have more battlecruisers being constructed now as well, which also should help against the Mutalisk here. Unless if he's just gonna go Corruptus? And I'm just keeping my eye out for what Rogue is going for right here. I mean, he is getting the +1 weapons upgrade for those mutas. He has a couple of banelings running in here. Dream? Dream, hello? Alright, well. Now he's woken up. Alright, 6 SCVs do go down. That actually does put Rogue a little bit ahead again in the economy, but other than that, of course, he had to spend a lot of time trying to catch up there. Look at that. Looks like some lovely red hills there in that income graph right there. Thor's now also being constructed. So Dream catching onto this Spire switch a lot earlier on now as well. and will be able to facilitate the appropriate units in time. But we're also seeing a switch from Rogue here, and just going to go straight up into Roaches immediately. So a lot of mind games coming out of these two players. He still is getting that +1 air weapons attack though, so might want to try to switch later on once again, after just giving Dream the idea that there's a lot of Roaches now. It's cool to see. Cool to see that variety in quick transitioning possibility being made use of, or being put to use from a Zerg player, of course. Yamato Cannon about to finish up here. These are a couple of dead overlords, it would appear. Bet you wish you had made some corruptors now, didn't you, Rogue? Oh boy. Yeah, there's 3 of them gonna go down. He is gonna get a little bit supply blocked, but already 3 overlords in production there. So shouldn't be too much of a hassle for him. Scan, seeing again that Spire. It is still researching, even getting the +2, so it's definitely not something that he just forgot about. Getting himself an infestation pit as well. Is he just gonna try to go up to Broodlords here? It might be the case. Nice Yamato right on top of that queen. You know, something I see a lot of Zerg players still do, and I do it myself as well, whenever I'm up against a... well, you see most of the people do it. But whenever Yamato Cannon is about to... You know what, you just hear it being shot, right? Like loading up. And then you just run away those units that are, that are being targeted. You're like, oh no, get away, mistakes were made. But yeah, it's kind of like you're making a further bigger mistake, because that unit is gonna die. There's no way you're gonna get out of there. You might as well just get a couple of extra pokes in, right? You're investing more APM as well in trying to get that unit out that you could spend elsewhere as well. And I think it's going to be one of those things that later on we're going to see people kind of adjusting for, and you know, just kind of accepting whenever something is going to get targeted by a battlecruiser. There, Yamato Cannon like, alright, that's just going to die. Let's just forget about it. Instead of this false hope of maybe if I run quick enough, I can outrun a Yamato Cannon. It's not gonna happen, unfortunately. Anyway, Rogue, yeah, now finally adding in those corruptors. Has 3 of them right now. 6 queens still available as well, but 4 battlecruisers, of course. Those Yamato cannons can be rather disgusting here. Let's see if he manages to land them on those full energy queens. Yeah, just goes for the Ravagers here instead. This time around, we'll get a corruptor too. Alright, not too bad, not too bad. Well done, and Dream, you know what, he is in a very good position this time around, finding himself on a 5 base economy. Yes, Rogue also has a 5 base economy, but he's still pretty much on Roaches and Lings here. I guess Ravagers too, but you know what, I'm not sure how well that's going to do against a full Thor mech army here. A lot of Banelings might be potent against these, the Cyclones and the Hellions. Couple of those Widow Mines. And a big run-by actually coming in from Rogue here. Potentially, yeah, right. He's definitely going to go for that run-by. There's just 2 more command centers here waiting if anything gets destroyed. Oh, man. Well, that run-by by Dream definitely not working out. He's still just kind of standing here as well with his entire force. What's up, Mano? How you doing, my friend? Welcome to the show. We're having Dream kind of being toyed with by Rogue so far. Although in this game he did manage to kill 35 workers here. Ooh, the Banelings! They managed to get it very quickly. And you know what, they might not be done just yet. Lift up the supply depot. Oh, Dream. Right, he only gets like 1 more SCV there, so that is not too bad. And why is he still here? He's not really achieving very much. I guess he's shutting down run-bys from this location, but other than that, nothing too great being achieved from his ground forces right now. Although, thank God for the battlecruisers, they are definitely being utilized rather nicely here. Getting a good couple of those Yamato cannons. 1 battlecruiser a little bit late with the jump out. Alright, now jumping to the left side. Coming in with the Thors as well. Everything together now. Where are the Hellbats though? There's no Hellions or anything like that. I guess it didn't matter too much as it's mostly just Roaches and Ravagers here. And oh my god, Rogue is actually killing this army right now. Are you kidding me? Dream comes in. I guess he does kill again a hell of a load of those workers. He loses absolutely everything. He's making 4 battlecruisers at the same time though. That is, I guess that's something. He's got 5 starports with tech labs here. Okay. We'll be able to get that production going, but does he have the economy to afford it though? He also lost a good amount of his SCVs, 33 so far. And he's gonna lose more of his economy right now. Rogue, my man, oh my god, he is actually, you know what? He got himself back into this game. There's no other way to put this. He lost 35 workers. 35 workers. It was pretty much half his entire worker line. Just dead. Just gone. And somehow, someway, he's just like, it's winnable. It's winnable. Let me just try something here. Let me just try to... Oh, you're coming in with your entire mech army. Yeah, I have enough. That's fine. Let me just kill absolutely everything. And now there's just so many Corruptors here. There's no Thors to support them. And a lot of battlecruisers gonna get gunned down. And, well, this is brilliant. Oh, the SCV's not repairing either. Okay, a little bit late with the repair, but do manage to do it right now. We'll be able to keep those battlecruisers, or the rest of them, alive. That's a big deal, actually. He was about to snowball rather heavily there with those Corruptors just cleaning up. Yeah. Oh, Banelings, where the hell did they come from? Out of nowhere. The right side field. Banelings rolling in and killing everything. You want to see the income graph? Well, I don't want to see the income graph anymore. That is making me absolutely miserable as a Terran player here. You know what, this is... I mean, if you don't win this one... Dream, I don't know what game you're ever going to be able to win against Rogue. Honestly, this has got to be such a motivation killer for Dream here. He was so far ahead. He killed so much stuff. And now it's just like, well, pretty much like that. Like that siege tank kind of felt like. He's on creep, and he just got obliterated like that. He felt like, oh, I have an enormous army. Oh wait, where did my army go? Oh dear lord, didn't get the memo. Anyway, again a run by here. More damage. That widow mine not yet ready. Right, does get a really good connection though. Do the Lynx have adrenal glands? Yes, they do. They have +2 attack as well as the +3 carapace. Alright, well, Dream, in he goes. One more time here, more battlecruisers. There's no greater spire yet, is there? So, you know, those siege tanks, they might still be able to do rather well against the high amount of Ravagers here. But he has them stacked up quite heavily, so I'm a bit worried about Biles. Also, I'm a bit worried about, of course, the Hive Tech being out, so Vipers could always be a thing. Thank God that Rogue has not realized this. Apparently, that those are in fact units that he can create. And that might give Dream a little bit of a fighting chance here, because if there were Vipers here, that siege tank line would be absolutely obliterated within seconds. Oh boy, it might still be actually. The battle mech nowhere near the tank for those siege tanks, and they're gonna get killed off as well. Battle cruisers coming in one more time here. The one place where they continuously find some reasonable damage might be the place where they actually are not gonna find any damage this time around again. Well, unfortunately, so we'll be able to retreat with most of them, but yeah, this is just an insane amount of battle cruisers right now. I'm not liking it anymore. I mean, I said the same thing about the Mutalisk, and Rogue managed to make that work, but you know what? It looks like Rogue is just absolutely magical today. Yeah, he ate all his vegetables, And I think Dream has just been on a yogurt diet or something like that. It's what it's looking like here. Good, well, alright. Well, this might be the final fight, guys. I'm not sure how to call this one because all the battle cruisers are taking a hell of a lot of beating here, but they are kind of pulling through. The bios need to be dodged. Taking a slight little bit of damage there. No, actually, he manages to dodge most of that. It's not too bad. I feel like this this Overlord's like, have a little bit more yogurt. I heard you like that. Ah, dear Lord. It's been there for ages as well, I feel like. That has just been sitting there. And with that command center just on top, waiting, like, one day I'll be able to settle here. I'll be able to make a lovely home for me and my wife. And he just moved. He just moved. Well, alright guys. It's not looking good. It's not looking good. If you lose this game, then... well, I mean, it's very much likely to be a 5-0 here. Because... unless if Dream has, like, innovation sitting next to him that can take over. But then that would be cheating, of course, so... you know what? He needs to cheat. I'm just gonna call it. Just start cheating, Dream. For God's sake. I'll forgive you for this one time, alright? Just to make this series a little bit interesting. We'll allow him a good amount of cheating. If only I could say that. Oh, man. Alright, well. Golden Wall. Game number 5. It's looking like it's gonna be a quick day here. Pearl is here as well. Golden Wall, exactly. That's a pretty cool one. But it's a bit of a meme map. I suppose it's reasonable for battle cruisers. It does alright, because you do have that wall, of course, to kind of abuse, but... you know what, I'm kind of hoping Dream goes for the bio here. Instead of the mech. Like, I mean, if you lose like that with mech, when you kill 35 workers... it's a best of 9, yeah. But, I mean, Rogue's now up 4-0, so... might just be a best of 1 now. At least for him. I don't know how much Dream can say about it. Oh, God. I feel so bad about being this harsh on Dream, but it's just not looking good. I don't know how he lost that game. I just don't know. I don't realize what I was looking at it. And I thought, you know what, I can stop paying attention. He's just kinda gonna slowly kill his opponent here. As Rogue should not be able to get anything done anymore. I was wrong. I was wrong. He's gonna make it 4-4, I believe. Well... Alright. I mean, I've seen some crazy comebacks before. That is true, but I mean... it's not been with games there where you kill off half the enemy worker line and then you don't take any damage whatsoever and then somehow you still lose. That's very rough, and I think Dream agrees, because you know what, we're seeing these two bozos coming across the map anyway. In the bottom right side we have the blue Zerg, Jin Green Wings, absolutely tearing it apart. He is a rogue. And Dream here, you know what? Yeah, sacrificing his last bit of honor. Gonna go for that double proxy Rex right now. He is the Red Terran Bravestar Gaming's Dream. I'm a big fan of Dream, honestly. Like, I always thought that I was disappointed that he got kicked out of GSL. I thought he had a lot of potential. And it felt like he had a bad day then. But, you know what? Starting to believe this is what it's like for him to have a bad day. This is a true bad day. Maybe even a horrendous day. I guess he didn't get scouted with that proxy wreck, so that is good, right? A reasonable amount of distance there still. He's gonna go and scout it. Problem is, there is already an overlords right here at the front entrance, so if he does try to make some bunkers there, those drones will be pulled immediately. Oh, this is interesting. Already mining away at this wall. Unfortunately, we're probably not going to be able to see what his plan is with that overall, since this is happening over here. It's a bit of a bummer, honestly, but oh well. Oh well. Right, SCV comes in here for that scout. He's, well, yeah, okay, that's interesting. Yep, you're mining there. That makes sense. Okay. Just going to go back to the second base again, I would assume. Why are you keeping this SCV here? Huh. Guess he knows that speed isn't on the way, but now those links might be able to get us around here. Get a good initial nibble. Bunker does finish. Broke never pulled any drones here, did he? Is that a fatal mistake? Is that gonna cost him here? Are we finally gonna see Dream start the comeback here? Is it gonna happen? I'm still a little bit hesitant to say so, because I mean, if Rogue can lose 35 workers and win, I don't think a hatchery is all that big of a deal anymore either. Look at that, just takes this bottom base right here. I guess that's the benefit of having that wall right there. Smart maneuver. And, yeah, just gonna hold his main base. It's like, yeah, alright, you got that hatchery, but you invested a whole lot. How's that Overlord getting shot? Excuse me? Back on that pervert pillar, as Maynard always lovingly calls it. Alright, well, I mean, it's just a whole lot of Zerglings on the way, actually. A Baneling nest as well. It's going to be a big Baneling bust, it looks like, on that front door of Dream. And Dream doesn't have anything really to respond with on this side of the map. He sees with that barracks flying over now. He knows time is ticking. Once they get as much stuff across the map here as possible, needs to start dealing damage. I mean, he does have a barracks floating in the air here. So maybe if he does manage to just... What is he doing, actually? He's hunting overlords. I don't think that's a good reason to hunt overlords at this time. Is he hoping to supply block Rogue? Is that why? Right, Baneling's coming through. There's still a little bit of a gap here. Hellions are trying to block it up. SCV's being pulled, but more Banelings coming in. Couple of Zerglings still make the wall. Ooh, Baneling manages to blow it up again. There's one Hellion remaining. Another Hellion actually just done off that production line. Needs to get those SCVs in front of the Hellion. Alright, manages to keep him alive for now. And re-walls off. Okay, so kind of stabilizes here a little bit. Only losing the 4 workers there. That's impressive. I have to give him that. I thought he was gonna straight up die. But instead, 2 Hellions being able to clean up 34 links or something like that. So that is indeed impressive. Now, Dream is gonna find out that there is in fact another base right here. And yeah, that's a tough pill to swallow. Very tough pill to swallow. He's gonna wonder, how long has this been here? How far behind am I really? And it's quite a little bit. The answer is quite a little bit here. I still say, although, you know what? It's weird to say that, honestly. In normal situations, I'd be like, yeah, this is okay for the Terran, since, you know, you got the hatchery pick, he held the Baneling all in, right? Only took 4 SCVs worth of damage, but I mean, apparently Dream needs to kill 3/4, like 3/4 of the entire mineral line of Rogue in order to have a chance of winning. But you know what? He might be able to do it. He's doing it good, actually. You know what? Let's give props where the props are due. He did manage to get some damage across the map. He is holding off the Zergling counter-aggression. We might see a good amount of Roach aggression coming in next. So that Roach run is being constructed here off of the 2 base. Might just be full defense against those Hellions, but You know what, without a third base and this amount of minerals stacked up, I don't think it is. There is 6 roaches now on the production tab. Yeah, he's just wanting to end this game right here, right now. Runs in one more time. Is going to be able to get a full scout here. Sees absolutely everything. At least I did get my dream right. Oh, wow, that was an unintentional pun. But anyway, I did ask for the +1/+1 bio. Well, I asked for a bio play, actually. That's what I asked for. Right. Oh, you do not want to be mining that out right now, I'd say, Dream. I don't think that's what you want to be doing. Although Rogue is gonna head towards the northern side of his bases, so might still be okay. Viking keeping tabs on this. This is very important. This means he will be able to build a bunker. I would say build 3. I would say build 3, Dream. Don't be a what do you call it? A greedy boy now. You cannot afford to be greedy. Only thing you can afford is more bunkers. It's not what is coming in here, right? That is the bunker needs to keep it alive. Great repair so far. The bios not being able to hit the target just yet. And there's a good amount of Marines and Hellions. You know what? Dream actually gonna go for a drop here. He's feeling very confident. Is that a mistake though? He does have a siege tank on the high ground here. It is a little bit further away. Oh my god, the bunker! Oh, it does go down just barely. Another siege tank on that high ground now. Gonna be able to start poking away at those roaches from afar, but the roaches reposition themselves towards that northern side. Making it rather difficult for those siege tanks really to do anything. The drop is unloading here. It's going to be able to pick off a good amount of drones. It looks like there's only 3 queens here. This amount of marines should be able to deal with that. I'm going to get a whole lot of work damage. Alright guys, I'm starting to believe. I'm actually starting to believe here. Again, and there it is. GG. You know what? Maybe Dream just likes pain. Right? Maybe he just enjoys making series extremely difficult for himself, and then he's like, alright, now I only need to lose one more game, and this is gonna be the time where I'm actually gonna start playing, right? Now I'm gonna start trying, guys. This is the moment in time. Anyway, does give Rogue the full amount of map choices right now, of course. Just you wait. Well, I mean, we still have a long way to go, Mano. We still have a long way to go. I cannot believe that Dream actually managed to get that game. I guess killing the hatchery, of course, it is a big deal. Stopping the initial bailing attack, also a very big deal. Calling the reverse sweep, yep. I still don't know, Mano. I still don't know. He still needs to win 4 games here in a row against Rogue. Well, 3 games, really, to have it for 300 IQ. I would call it a gamble, more so than an intelligent guess myself. But, you know what? I'll give it to you. If that is the case, I'm gonna call you 300 IQ Mano from then on. Alright? Alright, let me get the scores settled, and then I'm gonna go into this game. Also, guys, before I forget, we do have a Matcherino page. Please go check it out. ! Matcherino. Hit us up with those codes and give these players some extra dough for their games. Alright, in the bottom right side, we have a... Rogue washed up. Yep. And we have a red Terran player fighting for Brave Star Gaming. He is Dream. Top left, there he is, the blue Zerg, fighting for Gina Greenwings. As, you know what, doesn't look like he's going to be able to scout those barracks just yet. He is a rogue. He might do, though. He might do. Trajectory looking pretty promising. Oh my, I'm not quite sure, actually, if he is going to see this. I think so. He is going a little bit to the left here. I think he will eventually see it at a relatively early time. And, well, let's hope he pulls some drones this time, not let that bunker finish. He is going to see this, right? Okay, there we go. Does manage to get that scout now. immediately head back home again. We do have the gas as well. So should be a factory follow-up. And there are the drones. Okay, so Rogue this time doing the appropriate response. Of course, versus a 3 racks, you don't want to pull drones, but that's kind of the stone, rocks, paper, scissors, right? Rock, paper, scissors, yeah. It's not stone, paper, scissors. It's a completely different game. Anyway, we'll be able to get that first kill on the SCV. Another SCV trying to get in that bunker. You know, oh my dear lord. That is a juicy spot to start the overall producing of a bunker from. Kills off that spine or forces the cancel here. Nicely done. That means that bunker will be able to stay alive a whole lot longer now. And you know what? Rogue in a bit of trouble once more. Tech, thank you so much for that cheer, my man. Much appreciated. Alright, Zerglings and drones all being pulled at the same time. Cannot afford that other bunker to be completed, of course. Though this is a lovely position right next to it, reducing the surface area, and so many drones are gonna get down here. Oh my dear lord, it's another GG. Is it happening? Is it happening? No way. Did Rogue just get super overconfident and just stop trying? Or is Dream just like... I guess he is just proxying, right? So... Zergs do tell me that that strategy wins 100% of the time. 100%. Actually. Alright. Anyway. Guys. I mean... He is continuously doing the same thing. So I think if Rogue just does a spawning pool first, that should be pretty much all he needs to, right? That's what I feel like right now. If he goes like with a spawning pool first, that little aggression with the bunker's not gonna get up. And that happened on Zen, didn't it? It was game number 2. Game number 2? What's that? This series? All the StarCraft games are mixing together right now. They're becoming one big series in my mind. Was that this series? I think it was. Yeah, game number 2. And Dream just instantly GG'd. Was this game number 2? No, actually, he didn't go spawning pool first. He still went hatchery first. Did he? Huh, maybe it was just very quick, because those links were around. Anyway. I guess that's why you gotta, you know what, just kind of get that replay pack available on the Matcherino page, you know, because, well, I just don't remember things. Anyway, in the bottom left side, we have that blue Zerg. He is Jaina Greenwing's finest. Well, one of the finest, I suppose. He is a rogue. And at top right side, there is that red Terran from Bravestar Gaming. He is none other than Dream. Right, well, I mean, Rogue, you're gotta be expecting this now, right? Right? Rogue? I mean, he's looking for it. Okay, this time he will scout this much earlier on, right? So this Overlord is going to be able to... it's the first initial Overlord relatively quickly seeing these barracks. And he has been quite fortunate, actually, with his Overlord movements overall. Continuously is able to get this scout off. And, yeah, no mucking about this time around. 5 drones immediately off the worker line. Doesn't want to lose another time like that, but the positioning of these barracks is absolutely amazing. Look at those SCVs. Just taunting the drones right now. You will never get me. You will never get these. Pretty much. And there is the 2 Marines now on the production. Another SCV did get pulled here. The drones trying to get these... well, workers as low as possible. Don't want another bunker in front of his base. More drones are being pulled. Kills the first, the first Marine here. That's a very big deal. Another Marine coming in, but he is blocked up against those minerals. And will be nibbled to death as well. Another Marine here. Ooh, yep, alright. Nice choke points, but almost great micro that from Rogue. Doesn't finish him off, actually. Interesting. Probably did realize that more and more workers, or more and more Marines will be made available. Also, he does... Yeah, he doesn't really need to sacrifice drones anymore here, does he? He's got links on the way. He's going to be fine now from this point onwards, I'd say. As long as his circling micro is on point and he doesn't overextend at some points. Yeah, well, he's going to go for it. Does he get the surround? Lovely job there. So these fights over here, I'd say he shouldn't be taking right now. He's going to go for it anyway. And look at the amount of circlings he's losing. I'm not quite sure if he realized that there's more Marines on that high ground right there. That's a lot of links he lost, actually. 6 links for the price of that 1 Marine there. But, well, I guess he got a second one as well, but that's quite a punch on the nose. Anyway, more Marines being constructed. The rush overall, it failed, right? Rogue's still alive, still has a reasonable amount of workers. Not as many as he'd like, of course. He did lose 5 of those drones. But other than that, it's still playable for him. He is definitely still in a playable position. And that's all he needs. That's all he needs right now. Dream, he is attempting his best. Gonna try to go forward with the command center in the main base. Playing it safe as well. Sun Lily joining in as well. So Tech XX9, is that actually Tex 29 that your name is supposed to be, or is it like Tex XX9? Is it Roman numerals, or is it just are they just 2 X's? You have online classes now, but the game is too interesting not to watch. Just mute a class and pretend like you're there, as this is going on your second screen. Third base coming down for Dream right now. Will he be able to get himself some nice economic butter to butter up his economy? It's just to avoid Tech 9 and 9. Okay, because that's a rapper and the name is already gone. Ah, okay, I see. I see. I'm not all up to date with all the rappers. I'll admit. I'll be the first one to admit. Okay, let's continue onwards with this game. What is happening? Rogue is getting himself a Roach Warren. He is getting himself 2 Overlords here. He's kind of stacking up on those minerals. Not too crazy just yet. Getting himself 5 roaches. That could still just be a safety amount of roaches. 6 as well. But we do want to see more drones after this. And it's 9 roaches. Okay, he might just go for another big attack here. Those haven't really worked out all too well just yet for Rogue, have they? Except in that game number 1 on Nightshade. Was that game number 1 actually? Was that this series? Was that these players at all? Were any of them involved in that? Was that the GSL I saw earlier today? Was that Sound versus DRG that we saw earlier? I don't know. But anyway, what we are seeing here is a heck of a lot of roaches turning into Ravagers first and foremost. And then just a bunch of links following this up right now. Rogue steam rolling across the map, and there's not that many Hellions available. Those Marines need to evacuate to the high ground as well as those SCVs. Are they going to be able to do so before the... Alright, nice block actually with the Hellions there. Does manage to lift up the more important supply depot. He's touched the bios so far. Pretty reasonable. Hellions on these types of ramp areas do incredibly well. They are extremely tough in those types of situations. I've seen people hold off roaches with Hellions because of chokes like these. Alright, well, the wall did get busted open. The siege tank in the back, he gets gunned down as well. That stim pack almost done. Needs to get repaired. Okay, no, it does complete. Thank the heavens. 10 workers do go down, though, in total. Is that enough damage here for Rogue? I don't think it is. There's still a potent amount of Marines and a Hellion as well. A good amount of medevacs healing them up They're about to run out of energy. Another siege tank, though. It looks like Dream actually once again holding off here with 3 command centers and a tied-up work account. Oh, dear Lord. Rogue, what are you doing to yourself here? I'm not quite sure why you once again tried to finish it off that early on. Maybe he's looking very much forward to that date he has with Dream later on. Or maybe he just doesn't want the date to be very awkward and kind of giving Dream some games as well. Who knows? Who knows? Anyway. I mean, to go on a date with somebody after you beat them 5-0 in a best of 9 is, well, kind of awkward. Anyway. For anyone that was around in the earlier parts of the cast. Here we have these Marines with a single siege tank supporting them, trying to get some more damage pulled through. Does look like Rogue mostly just kind of focused on droning up behind this, so definitely a possibility to deal a little bit of damage here. Links come in and should be the end of this push, though. Siege tank will fall. Fortunately, not getting that final shot on that queen was about to die. Lay attack now also in construction. Being made available for the later parts of the game. That higher tier tech, but it's only at like 8.5 minutes, of course, now that it is completed. Evo Chambers only now gonna get thrown down. It's +1/+1 already on the way for Dream. Not too much of a difference though, of course. As long as Rogue activates this rather quickly. Doesn't have enough money just yet for the carapace or the melee upgrade either. Interested to see what he goes for actually. Okay, so it is the carapace. Once again, he does go for this heavy ranged style. Okay, well, armory now as well being established. Those 3 barracks are going to start producing relatively soon here. And that's when Dream will be able to get himself a very potent force relatively quickly. Rogue, on the other hand, who's already now establishing a 4th base as well. I'd say it is still all to play for both these players again. Even though the units lost tab overall in favor definitely full for Dream here. The income graph as well. It looks pretty smooth for both these players, but yeah. I mean, when you're playing against Rogue, he has proven it over and over again. It's always all to play for still. He's always going to be a potential threat. You have to take into consideration, and you cannot stop taking seriously at, well, even 1 single second. Couple of roaches there, keeping the medevacs away from that base. The main base stays secured so far. Another drop here at the top side, trying to get rid of some of those spotter overlords here. Potentially open up the area for later on harassment. Again, trying to poke in here with the drop on the main base, but shooting an overlord and giving away that position there. Liberator together with a queen here. And more medevacs as well coming across. Yeah, this shouldn't be able to do too much here. Not even gonna get a queen. The bare minimum of what you want to get. You know what? It did open up this area over here. That might just be a little bit more accessible because everything Rogue owns is across the map here. That's a whole lot of roaches. 130 supply worth of roaches. But a good amount of bio is there to meet them head on and is engaging the right side first and foremost. I kind of like this. So he is kind of like Napoleon, striking at half the forces there and then gonna retreat back to the other side. I can't believe this, guys. I cannot believe this. What? I guess innovation was available for Dream, and I mean, I was joking, Dream. I was joking. I didn't mean it when I said let innovation play for you. I guess we're gonna have to disqualify Dream. I guess we're gonna have to. It's obvious that he pressed some sort of a button, or he's letting somebody else play now. Or he let somebody else play before in those other 4 games. Who knows? But either one of those, not really allowed, so... Well then, okay. 4-3. Man. Right, 300 IQ Mano incoming here pretty soon. If Dream takes on one more game. He's showing that it's possible. Then, to be fair, I mean, Rogue, I really dislike that attack of the Roaches there. I thought in my head it might be incredibly strong, as there is, of course, a 3rd base already established. There's no production from those barracks for a really long time. But just didn't matter. Just didn't matter whatsoever. If that happens, you're gonna be so happy. Yeah, man. I mean... I would be too if I would make a random call like that and just say, I believe! and then it works out that way. But hey, that's what's happening here, so... I'm gonna have to wait and see. Alright. You have to be inhuman if you are cheering for the Zerg. Oh, man. To be fair, I was cheering for Dream in a little sense. But then he just got steamrolled, and I just completely lost faith. And now he's bringing it back. He's bringing it back. That's what he needed to have happen. He just needed GSL to be best of 9 format each round. Because he just likes to lose 4 times in a row and then bring it back, perhaps. Anyway. If it happens, it's not a random call. Alright, alright. That's how it's decided, of course, whether or not something was a random call. Because if it happens, that means it wasn't a random call. For example, if I say I'm gonna roll a 6 with my dice and I roll a 6, then that, of course, is a 300 IQ move. Anyway, it's gonna... A big deduction, eh? Anyway. Bottom right side. Blue Zerg. I don't know. Maybe he fell asleep or something. Because he just doesn't look as dominant as he did those first 4 games. That's how it works. Yeah, I agree. Bottom right side. Blue Zerg. Jinel Green Wings. Rogue. Rogu-san. Alright, in the bottom left side. Brave Star Gaming's Red Terran player. He's doing it, boys. He is doing it. He's doing the impossible. I thought he was as dead as a dodo, but he is still around. He's still kicking. Kicking like a mule. Anyway, he is Dream. Not going for the proxy Rex this time around, so... I'm not sure what that is about. It was working relatively well. Forcing those drone pools, pretty nice. It's kind of interesting, actually, that like a lot of the Terran, they have been putting their barracks further and further away from the Zerg bases, because Zergs are just so good now at knowing which locations are most likely to be the places for the barracks. Because they are the locations where you can have them nice tucked away against walls and stuff like that. So they keep being put further and further away, which also means in turn that those drones, they need to, if you want to pull the drones against the racks that are being built, right, you're gonna have to move a mile. Oh my god, he gets a drone. Rogue is falling apart here, guys. Oh my god, he's gonna get a second drone. Oh, that was really close though. He's gonna lose the Reaper now. Instead, he is... Yeah, okay. He is gonna lose the Reaper. Yeah, I mean, if Dream wins another one here, Mano, I'm just gonna give it to you. Yeah. That is just indeed a 300 IQ deduction, because I would have never ever thought that in the realm of possibilities, but yet here we are. The weird thing is, I've seen it before in Best of Nines. Sometimes it does happen, but it happens very rarely. Usually, if somebody looks like they are just being toyed with by one player for 4 games in a row, it's gonna happen a 5th game in a row. But sometimes you have a couple of these jam best of 9s where suddenly somebody just turns into a Super Saiyan. You know what, like fan-fictioning it up. Starting the internal super-powered call engine. I don't know, something. They just start using their second hand as well. They figured out their mouse was not plugged in into the PC, so now he's going to be able to play at full capacity. Anything like that. Anyway, it's seemingly is happening right now here for Dream. Dream is trying to figure out if there is a third base. He doesn't see anything just yet, so he might start to prep for some sort of a 2-base timing here. But of course, as what happened the previous time on the Golden Wall as well, was of course this base on the bottom here being made available for Rogue. And I really like this actually from Rogue. Gives him a very easily defendable ramp, which is the only way inwards here until, well, either flying units come in or if Dream also opens this up. And he has the circling here scouting for that potentially to happen. Wait, is this a full wall? Did he just fully wall himself off? It shouldn't be, right? Would be interesting. Did you see the battle cruiser? He did not see the battle cruiser, so he is going for a Spire though, which is interesting. Very interesting. Did he see something else that's kind of giving this away? I guess the Hellion counts? No, not really. The amount of supply depots. This is rough. This is rough. I'm not quite sure how he knows. And maybe this is going to go straight into a whole bunch of the Mutalisk here, but this battlecruiser actually jumping in right now. In they come. There's the Spinecrawler here as well. And transforming into the Hellbats. Oh, needs to be careful of those banelings. Nice dodge. So far, there's no further banelings available. The Hellbats rolling on in. Wiggle, wiggle. Look at them go with that little silly walk. It's not so silly when they start spewing fire, though. They absolutely are shredding most of the Zerg right now. There are Mutalisk on the field, but 6 Mutalisk. And if they are going to fly in, oh my god, the carnage. GG is called. Dream taking it back 4-4. Of course he is. Of course he is. Yeah, that makes perfect sense. That is... What the hell? I always thought that StarCraft 2 was a logical game that made perfect sense, but apparently, you know what, sometimes it just does whatever the heck it wants to, right? Apparently. Oh my god. Rogue going for the Mutalisk there, and just barely not in time. Dream rolls in. No banelings, only 2 banelings available, going in a little bit too quickly without any other supports. It wasn't creep, yeah, but I mean, nothing else was there. And Rogue underestimating the value of scouting, perhaps, a little bit. Even though Dream did a very good job at keeping the Overlords out of his base. Alright, well, 300 IQ, Mano, in the chat. You never said that he would win, though, Mano. You might have ruined it. You may have ruined it by saying that's gonna be 4-4 instead of a 5-4. Bookies in bet 365, I tell you. I would have thought it's fixed. Well, it's looking that way. I kind of, it's feeling that way, but I'm not completely sure. Anyway, guys, remember, there is a Metrorino page. If you want to help us out, go check that one out. Go have a look over here. Let me quickly show you guys, actually. Metrorino page can, of course, use all the support and love and attention that you can give it. Would be extremely appreciated, of course. Give these players a little bit of extra money for their trouble. As, you know what, they very much deserve for after this insanity of a series right here. And I mean Rogue, oh my god, if he loses this as well, man, that's gonna be such a massive bummer. Anyway, all you gotta do is press contribute here, put the coupon code in, AXCOM98, press contribute. And it will add another 50 cents to that prize pool right there without having to pay anything. It's completely free. All you got to do is log in right here. And the logging in doesn't really take any of your information. You can just log in with one of your already existing accounts, whether it be Twitch, Twitter, anything of that sort. Alright, well, let's jump into this game, guys, as it is, of course, started. We do have more stuff actually on that Matcherino page as well, but I don't wanna waste time here. I wanna be able to see everything that's happening, of course. Can't live bet or bet live on, yeah. I mean, alright, well, anyway, this is just bizarre, but he managed to do it, wins 4 games in a row after losing 4 games in a row, because, you know what it is, it's the Red Terran player, Brave Star Gaming, he is a dream. I just can't believe it, I still cannot believe it. He is gonna go for a spawning pool first here, Rogue. Banking it on that early aggression right now, expecting another proxy Rex. It's not the case, Rogue. It's just not the case. Anyway, I already said his name a couple of times, but let's do it a little bit more in an epic tone of voice. He's the Blue Zerg fighting for Jin Air Green Wings. He is a Rogue. Rogue. Almost going into grunting there. You know, the thing people do in those heavy metal bands. Can't wait until they use one of those voices for the GSL. They've went past pretty much all the other voices. They need to do something like that. Banned on Twitch for sexual content. Oh man. Yeah. Alright. This is innovation versus life match fixing. Life found a way. He's just on Rogue's account. He hacked him. Rogue's now just in a closet, tied up somewhere. Yelling out at his PC, "It's not me! It's not me that's playing! Help!" As well as innovation. You know what, Dream just sadly sitting next to him, being like, "Oh man, I wish I could have played like this." Innovation unaware that, of course, as well as life just match fixing here. Well then, okay, those links did get a little bit of a delay on that command center, but nothing too, you know what, noteworthy, I have to say. For a spawning pool first, you do kind of hope to get a little bit more. But overall, he is still doing okay. He is still doing okay. Both these players still very much playable. I still don't understand, actually, how Dream manages to just win 4 games in a row after losing a game where his opponent lost 35 workers and then makes a comeback. And then he's just like, alright, I'm just gonna win 4 games in a row now. I would be sweating so hard. I would have already given up myself. But, you know what? I guess this is why he is called Dream. The Dream Boat. Once again, gonna go for the Battle Cruiser here. We'll have to keep our eye out if there is going to be a armory once again being placed down. I think that might be a little bit too on the nose this time around if that's going to be the case once more. And we're going to have to keep our eye on the queen count as well. Overall, queens, well, very strong counter against the Hellbats and the Hellions and the Battle Cruisers. Pretty much the counter to most things of early harassment kind. Right, well, here's the first battlecruiser on that production tab. Overlord here with speed. Did manage to scout that there is a attack lab on that starport. Did not manage to see the fusion core just yet. Third base for Dream on the way as well. Once again, activating his greed card. And Rogue just madly droning up right now, getting himself that layer attack as well. And I believe this should be in time, actually, to also get himself some baneling speed here before anything really mad starts hitting him. Just a couple of initial Hellions. Battlecruiser is about to pop out as well. Where are the Lings? They're coming in on the wrong side here. They do get a reasonable surround. There is the Battlecruiser as well, ready to support those Hellions. Actually, he's like, alright, you're on your own. I'm going this way. But there are 3 Queens available there as well as a Spore Crawler. Rogue definitely was banking on this being Battlecruisers once again here. Judging by the amount of Queens that he made. He made 9 Queens here off of 3 base. That's pretty massive. Also getting this block here with the Overlord. This is not something you see enough anymore, I'd say, from Zergs. Especially, you know what, if you get yourself that early lay attack, you might as well try to get that investment as well of just having an Overlord slowing down potential bases. Yes, both these bases covered, by the way. Just letting you know. Right, Queen's definitely getting quite low in supply here. Not that many remaining, but you know what? Not too many drones having gone down either yet. And this Battlecruiser, it does fall. And that's a big deal here. The first Battlecruiser, always something that should stay alive. This one falling here, kind of a big deal. And oh my god, Rogue. That is just lovely. That's so much of a delay here for Dream. You know what, Rogue, I'm liking his position here, overall. Healthy amount of workers. He is on that 3 base, delaying this base for that long, getting himself a kill on that Battlecruiser. Getting a pretty reasonable surround as well, and a lot of the battle mech here might be able to get 2 Cyclones. Not sure if he should try to commit for both of them, though. Oh well. Reasonable. 12 Mutalisk now on the way. Killing of those Cyclones kind of opens the pathway, right, for those Mutalisk now. So a very good call from Rogue to really try and minimize the amount of forces that Dream has that could potentially shoot those air units. Well done indeed. And now he is he double expanding, or is that a macro hatch? It is a macro hatch, in fact. Doesn't have any Evo chambers just yet. Is once again just going to go for that mass Mutalisk style that we saw in Purity and Industry as well. Doesn't look like it is just a style that is playable on one certain map. Definitely is going to be able to hit this 3rd base rather quickly. Already making Widowmines, so somewhat getting prepared for this, but didn't prep up some missile turrets there at his natural base or his main base for that, well, for that sake. Or his 3rd. None of his bases, really. Can he still get it? There he goes. Okay, we'll be able to be prepped up in time. But 18 workers, that is a good amount of worker damage right now. More and more Mutalisk are still being created, though, of course. Maybe this time around, Dream is going to catch on to the fact that this is, in fact, so many Mutalisk. Or we'll get a Widowmine connection, too. Dream just kind of taking it there in the end. Cannot fight those Battlecruisers, though. Snow Yamato Cannon, 12 more Mutalisk on the way, and there's a Ling run by as well. Being able to do even further damage, trying to get himself some of those siege sinks, but you know what, cannot afford, of course, to waste too many Mutalisk here. Just keep flying back and forth, try to just get damage wherever you can. And if there's no chance of getting damage there, then fly elsewhere. Because that's the great benefit of those Mutalisk here. Once again, Rogue ramping up this DRG style kind of play here. Taking a little bit of a loss there. 4 Mutalisk so far in total have gone down. Needs to watch out for those Widowmines. Especially with those Thors behind there as well. You can, of course, jump on top of Widowmines with the Overseer, gun them down. But the way you fight those is the complete opposite of how you fight against Thors. Thors, you want a magic box, whereas Widowmines, you just want to get a big ball of Mutalisk to one-shot a Widowmine as quickly as possible before they actually do get their shot off. There's another Widowmine here as well with a missile turret. 2 Battlecruisers, of course, and for the support as well. Yeah, Dream should not be taking too much damage anymore from any Mutalisk play. And, well, I said it the previous time. I'm a bit hesitant to say it again, but, I mean, Rogue might be over making Mutalisk here. He might be. There's 4 Widowmines here. Trying to get them to go off here using those Overseers. Does set 2 of them off, but there's still 2 available as well. Kills off 5 of his own workers, though. It's always funny seeing Overseers kill workers, but hey. I mean, it just happens right then and there. You need to be so incredibly careful with these Mutalisks. We are seeing ITaX. We are seeing Dream completely contained on his 3 base. And behind this, Rogue, I guess this is the biggest of deals, right? He did get himself 5 bases already mining. A 6th base also ready to be mined from here. That is the biggest of deals. Also, you know, those Banelings might be able to get some work done. 2 siege tanks and a Widowmine, though, might have something to say about it. Only 6 workers getting killed off there. Nothing too bad. Mutalisk, they are just being controlled very nicely here, but just as I say that, he does lose a good amount of them. 18 Mutalisks so far having been killed off, and I think a big clump of that was due to that small little overreach there that we did get to see. Now, what are we going to see from Rogue here, from that Hive tech? Will it be Broodlords? I don't think that would be the right choice against the Battlecruiser Thor composition. I would much rather see something like Ultras. Okay, double Nidus network. That's pretty cool too. Against the slow-moving mech army. That's, you know what? I'm not gonna complain about that one. Too many Widowmines here for these Banelings to do anything. And yeah, that is rather awkward, isn't it? I guess they got a missile turret and the 2 Widowmines here. The creep spread is absolutely amazing as well as this, you know what, Rogue just grabbing himself a 7th base. Why the hell not? I mean, realizing that this creep spread is getting a little bit out of hand. Mutalisk moving around on this left side, looking to just go into the main base, I would imagine. Look out for those Widowmines! Immediately getting shot down once more here. Look at that. 20 Mutalisk now have gone down. There is the Nidus Worm. Where's Nidus Worm number 2? I mean, you did make 2 Niduses. Might as well make 2 of them. It's not happening just yet. Widowmines are going to be put right on top of this, though, together with a Battlecruiser, a Thor, and a good amount of Hellions. And nothing really happening with that one, unfortunately. What are we seeing? I would love to see Swarm Host against this composition as well. I think Swarm Host could do very well. I think Ultralisk would do a little bit better here, as well as with Vipers. The Vipers, of course, with Lurker. Hydra, that could be incredibly potent. Pretty much anything other than Ling, Baneling, Hydra. Or a Ling, Baneling... Well, Hydra as well would be part of that, but Mutalisk as well. And just as I say that, he is killing 30 workers. Of course, yeah, that just happened. Does he still have anything to hold back this army with, though? I mean, he is 100 army supply versus 130. And all that 130 army supply is, of course, in Thors. And Thors are pretty gosh darn strong, alright. Thought we were going to see a base trade there, but you know what? Rogue's still not having the forces to really do anything in those bases. Widowmines inching their way forwards. We're still seeing mass Banelings here being the solution from Rogue as he's fighting against Thor's siege tanks and Widowmines. He's fighting against Thor's siege tanks and Widowmines. Look at the connections those Widowmines just got. What are you doing? This is going against everything I've learned from StarCraft 2 about StarCraft 2, but maybe it's gonna work. Let's take a look. I mean, I doubt. Oh my god, a Widowmine shots there. Dream pushing on forwards. He is actually getting himself, it looks like, a very reasonable position. Now, there is, of course, an insane amount of economy. So, actually, alright. Oh, Rogue does manage to clean this up a little bit here. That is ridiculous. So, how did that work? I mean, that basically... Rogue, I keep wanting to call him DRG because it's like I'm watching DRG here, but Rogue The only reason he managed to win that was because of his crazy bank and the fact that he has 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 bases, right? He has 8 bases versus 4. And that 4 base economy continuously losing SCVs. But Dream, his army, is supposed to be the counter against this. What is happening? Another Nidus worm. Okay. We're starting to get upset here, guys. This game is confusing me. I don't like confusion. I like it when my StarCraft makes sense. Nothing in a Nidus worm. How does this make sense? I guess it keeps Dream busy though, you know? He needs to continuously run back and forth. And maybe that's going to keep Dream away from his worker lines. Or, well, Rogue's worker lines, of course, but still manages to get Widow Mines here and there in between those drone lines. Does manage to get the Hellions now and again in a good position. That's a horrible Widow Mine. That's a terrible shot. Alright, more of the workers here as well dying, it looks like, due to a Ling run by. Going on, I got 1 kill with that Widow Mine. Interesting. Okay, anyway. You know what? If it doesn't work one time, you're gonna have to try again. Oh, using changelings to block the path here. Slowing down that engagements. Burrowing Zerglings. Oh, I love that. But unburrows them immediately. Alright, there it is. GG. Uses Banelings on Thors. And kills Thors with Banelings. Alright, yeah, that's just what happens. GG is called. Rogue takes it. Finally. After Dream making it such a close series later on, overall, 4-4. That was nuts. That was absolutely ridiculous. Never thought Rogue would just stay on that army composition and make it work. But it did. It did. You know what? I said it before in that Purity Industry game. Probably shouldn't work. Probably shouldn't work. But Dream, yeah, just not being able to be cost efficient enough, I guess. Or just not having enough bases, not enough economy. And never really managed to catch those Mutalisk. Dream left the party. Alright, anyway, guys, thank you so much for those follows. Legato, JH, Kim, as well. No, I'm sorry, that's a Korean name. Maybe Creighton knows how to pronounce it, but I'm a dum-dum, so I don't. That's, Alright. Guys, that was a pretty nuts game. I'm gonna have to head out now. I'm gonna wish you all a lovely rest of your day, a lovely rest of your night, morning. I don't know where in the day parts you are, depending on where you live, of course. But, yeah, that was a pretty nuts series. Dream almost making a comeback there. He almost broke Rogue there as well, actually. I just want to say, like, some pretty insane Widowmine connections there later on, but yeah, just not enough. Just not enough. Alright, let me see who we are gonna host here. Let me see if I got any message to host anyone specifically. Apparently we didn't, so let me just see who is online. Let me just take a gander. Shall we take a look who is, if there's any Alpha X's, that would always be my preference here. Let's take a look. Okay. Bel Air was hosting with us. He is offline. I can only see Euthermal online right now. Should we just throw a big host to Euthermal? That could be pretty cool. Yeah, he gives me some tournaments to cast as well. So let's do it for Euthermal, shall we? Liquid Thermi. All you Terran lovers will be able to get something there. Right, here we go. Guys, thank you so much for watching. Remember the Metrorino if you haven't already. Would be very much appreciated. I've been Really Kozen. You can check me out on my own channel, Really Kozen, over here. On my Twitter. I have a Twitter too. And anyway, I very much appreciate all of you coming by, checking out the games, and I hope you enjoyed the casting. Alright, guys. See you next time. Bye-bye. Gonna show a quick video as well, maybe. Nah, no, let's just go with the raid. See you later, guys.